Hi everybody, it's T. Okay, so now today we're going to be talking about fear of abundance. And you're probably thinking, T, what? I don't fear abundance. Girl, I want it to come in tons and tons and tons of abundance. But why isn't it? So let's think about that. So today, again, we're going to talk about fear of abundance. And you may or may not have it, but that might be a reason why it's not coming in for you. So let's take a look. Now, have you ever wondered why someone else is successful and you cannot even begin to understand how to achieve that type of success? Or even where to start? Or why, if you have started, nothing is happening? You may have an abundance block. And let's find out why. First of all, the very first reason could be fear of failure. We all have fear of failure. I have fear of failure. As a psychic reader, I still to this day do psychic readings, get off the phone and go, what if I was wrong? And I do that even to this day. I always have a fear that I might fail at something I do for somebody else. I want to be the best me I can for somebody, but what if I'm not? So does that stop me from doing readings? In the beginning, it did. In the beginning, I was so scared that I would be wrong that I didn't even try. I figured, why bother? If I'm wrong, I'll look stupid. People will think I'm no good. And what was the point? Even though I knew I could do it, and even though everyone would tell me, girl, you're good, you should do that, I still had that fear of failure, that I would give everything I had to go into this line of work, and I would fail and have nothing to show for it. Now, for a lot of you know, I was a family law attorney for 13 years. And I was lawyer by day, secret psychic by night, and I did that for a long time until one day I thought, I'm exhausted. I can't keep doing this. I cannot keep working all day and then coming home and doing readings all night. I barely saw my kids. I was tired. I was hungry. It just wasn't working. I was living a very unhealthy life. So I had to decide what was best for me. Well, common sense would tell you to keep the job, girl, because that's where your income is. That's what's paying your bills. Why would you leave that? And on the other hand, you're thinking, yeah, but what if I do what I really want to do, follow my passion, and it works? And that works out for me. But on the other hand, what if I leave a great paying job and this doesn't work out at all? Then what am I going to do? Well, let me tell you, I found out the hard way what happened when I left that good paying job. I left that good paying job and went on to do this psychic work. And guess what? I wasn't very successful in the beginning. One, because I didn't really know anything about psychic work. I just knew the abilities I had, but I didn't know how to market and get myself out there. So nobody was coming in. Nobody was buying the readings. And for the first 2 years, we pretty much went broke. We had lost our house to foreclosure. We had pretty much went broke. It was a bad time for us. So on my part, I'm thinking, okay, that was a dumb move. So the first thing you guys are thinking is, well, I bet she wouldn't do that again. But you know what? I would do it again. I would absolutely do it again because eventually I got it. Eventually I figured it out. Now, the next time I'll probably try to figure it out before I give up the job, but I would still definitely do it again. So even though that fear of failure was there, I still took that huge leap into the unknown. And even though it didn't work out in the beginning, it did end up working out in the end after trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, but at least I got to where I wanted to be. But had I never took that leap because of my fear that it wouldn't work out, I would have never known, and I would still be being that family law attorney, dealing with people all day that, okay, we won't go into that. Okay, the second reason is fear of success. Now, I know you're thinking, fear of success. Oh my gosh, why would I not want to be successful? That's not a fear, but it is a fear. Because what if you're successful Now you have all these obligations. Now people expect this from you. How can you keep that up? How can you possibly come up with something every single day that would keep people coming to you? How could you possibly keep this going? What if it's great for a moment and then it falls completely down? What if people look at you negatively instead of positively, even though you're successful? How would you deal with that? So there's that, you know. So in the very beginning, I was kind of egotistical minded when I left my lawyer job, thinking I'm going to do this. People are going to really like me. And guess what? It was just the opposite. And I probably did it at a really bad time in my life. I was going through a divorce. I was having horrible emotional, personal problems. And a lot of people were probably like, oh, you know, she reschedules. And yeah, you know, I did. I was in a bad place, you know, and I probably started this psychic work at the wrong time. You know, I probably should have waited until my personal life was more together before I started trying to help people with their lives. And again, I talked about this in a video that I did recently about how you can't help anybody if you're not okay. And I am a prime example. I jumped out there wanting to help everybody and jump into this work, and what happened is my personal life overtook me and I wasn't able to do this work like I was supposed to, and I made a lot of people mad. I would reschedule appointments. I would get physically ill because of everything I was going to. I was tired. I was emotionally drained, and I couldn't do my work. And that left a lot of bad taste in people's mouth about me, I'm sure. But now I'm back and I'm okay and I'm a totally different person. And that's why I always say, you know, if you think you knew me a year ago, you don't know me at all, because I'm a totally different person. So once I got my life the way I wanted it to, and I got my life what I considered together, I'm a completely different person. I'm not that person that I was back then. I don't even want to be compared to that person anymore. That person is gone. So, but you know, there is that fear of failure and that fear of success that will stop us from basically doing what we need to do, which is our purpose and follow our passion. Okay, the next thing is, what if you set a goal for yourself and you're ready to jump into this, and your goal seems so unobtainable that you figure, why even start? Why even try? I'll never accomplish it. So a lot of people set what I like to call huge unobtainable goals. Because you set something that could not possibly be achieved in the timeline that you give yourself. So I tell people, be realistic, okay? If there's something that you know is going to take 5 years, give yourself a 5-year timeline to achieve that and try to achieve it before that. But be realistic in the beginning, because sometimes when you give yourself an amount of achievable stuff to do, you become overwhelmed and it's like you can't even start. So this is what I say. Start your goal. Say that you want to achieve something. Give yourself, let's say it's something small, and you think, okay, in 2 years I can do this. Okay, let's break this down into smaller goals. Okay, so 2 years is 24 months. Okay, so let's break down this 24 months into actual things to do each month. Okay, so month number one. Month number one, I know that I can do this, 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 and that. So say you put 5 or 6 things that you know you can achieve in this month, maybe just 3 or 4. Now break it down into weeks. What can I do this week out of these 5 or 6 things that I know that I can achieve this month? Or if it's smaller, 3 or 4, what can I do this week? Even if it's just for 10 minutes, what can I do this week to start or finish out one of these things that I know I can achieve this month, and then achieve that. And then after week 1, cross that out. By the end of the month, try to have as many of those things accomplished as you can. Whatever you didn't get accomplished, move to the next month and then do the same thing over again. Take what you can do that month and break it down into weeks. What can I accomplish this week, even if it's just for 10 minutes? And break it down until you know that it's achievable. Now, like 6 months down the road, that big, long, unachievable goal is now looking more achievable, because little by little, you're achieving it. You're taking those goals and you're making it happen. So breaking something big down into something smaller actually makes the big picture look more achievable. Okay. Now, let's see. I wrote some things down. So I'm looking down here. Okay. Now, what if your fear is others won't approve of what you want to do? Okay. Let's look at me. I live in the Bible Belt. I tell you all the time, I am in the serious Bible Belt over here. There is not even a metaphysical shop over here. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Nothing. So I had a friend. Let me tell you the story. I had a friend that lives the next county over, smaller county, came over here to where I'm at, which is a bigger county, a bigger city, to start a tarot shop. She was open 3 months. One customer. I tried to tell her, you can't do that over here. Nobody want to see it. Nobody want to hear it. So, like, the most people probably do here is like crystals and jewelry. That's, and maybe some Reiki. You know, there is a place here that does have like Reiki shops and stuff, and maybe some yoga. But when you start talking about psychic readings and all that, people here don't want to hear it. Most people here do not want to hear it. So the very first thing that I was scared about was coming out. Okay, because, you know, at that time my kids were going to school. You know, what would their teachers and friends think? Would they be bullied? Would they be made fun of? You know, I was still working downtown. You know, what if they found out? What if, you know, I got approached at work? Maybe what if they didn't want my type working there, you know? So there was a lot of things I was concerned about coming out the psychic closet. But when I finally did and I stood firm in my ground, I found out it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And there were a lot more accepting people than I thought. Now, there were still a lot of unaccepting people. And what ended up happening is I had to kind of shoo those people out of my life. You know, they may have been my friend before, but because they don't believe in what I do, they really didn't want to be a part of my life. And instead of breaking down and crying and thinking, oh man, I lost this friendship that's like 10 years old, I thought, God, they were never my friend to begin with. They won't support me. And you would have thought they'd have known me after 10 years, you know. So I just let it go. And yes, it was hard, but it was something I had to do for my spiritual growth. I had to let go of all those people. Now, another thing I want to talk about is that decluttering, not only physical decluttering, but mental and emotional decluttering. And I've talked about this before, where people in your life that are causing negativity into your life might be causing your abundance block. And let me tell you why. You've got past problems that you can't forgive and let go of. Okay, let's do it like this. Look at your life as a room, okay? And in this room, we're going to start putting everything that you have in your life, okay? Past problems that you refuse to forgive or let go of, okay? Things that are out of your control, that there's nothing absolutely you can do right now to control it or change it, but you're going to worry about it. Let's put that in there. People that take, but never give. Let's put them in there, okay? Now we've got family members that you have to hide from because they don't approve of who you are, approve of what you do, or never would, so you've never told them. Let's put them in there, okay? Now let's go to the physical clutter. Okay, let's take everything in there that's in your house that you absolutely don't need or use. And I'm talking about clothes. I'm talking about your kids' toys. I'm talking about things in your house that have been sitting there for years and years, and you've never even took them out the box when you stored them years ago. Now let's look at how full our room is. It is extremely full. Okay, now with our full room, let's start doing this type of work and waiting for our abundance. Where would we put it? Where would we put it? Unless there's a closet in this room that you couldn't even get to anyway because of all the crap. Where would you put it? So here you are and you've got this house just full of crap. The abundance truck pulls up outside and they're getting ready to unload all your wonderful abundance and you can't even get it in the front door. And then you wonder what's wrong. That's what's wrong. So what do? First of all, you have to start with the physical because it's the easiest. to deal with. So once we get that out of the way and we start to feel more organized, we can start moving on to the mental and emotional. So we'll go through bills we don't need. What if you're saving boxes and boxes of stuff for your taxes? If it's past that time, then shred that stuff. Let it go. If you do have to keep a lot of bills for taxes, put it in storage buckets that you can put a lid on and put it at the top of the closet. Out of sight, out of mind. Any bills you've paid and you don't need to keep the receipts, shred it. Any junk mail you got, shred it. I put a shredder right by the front door. When that mail comes in, whatever I don't need, I will shred right there in front of you. Right there. Right there. It ain't coming past that door if it ain't something I need. And again, I have to apologize for the light because I'm doing this late at night and I'm having to use artificial light and it's got everything looking fuzzy and crazy. So I do apologize for that. But again, you know, so now that we're getting rid of the physical clothes you don't wear, okay, let's look at it like this. Say you've bought this blouse, it's got a tag on it, and we've all got clothes with tags on them in our closet that we ain't used for 3 years, or grandma got you a blouse that you know you'll never wear, but you didn't want to take it back and hurt her feelings, so that's in your closet. So what I like to do is every 6 months, so after summer and before we enter fall, I'll take down all the fall buckets, all the summer and spring clothes that I know they're not going to wear next year. I'll chuck in a bag. All the fall clothes that I know they ain't gonna fit them this year or not go down to the next child, I'll chop it. I'll just throw in a bag. When those bags are full, I'll take them over here to this church that helps women and children for free. They get clothes for free. I don't want to take it somewhere like Goodwill or Salvation Army where they're going to sell it to somebody and the people who need it the most can't even afford it. I want to take it somewhere where they're going to give it away for free. I'm giving it to them for free, so they need to give it to somebody else for free, in my opinion. Okay, I'm not getting money for it. So, you know, I'm giving it to you, so you should give it to somebody else. Pay it for it. You know, and then it goes to where, you know, it can actually be of some use to somebody. And I do that every 6 months. And then I go through other things like Christmas decorations. You know, every time I put up the Christmas stuff, I think, am I going to use this another year? You know, I always do this. I always go through things and I always choose once every 3 months to go through all my stacks of papers. Do I need this? Did I pay this bill? Was it recorded online? Do I really need to keep this? You know, credit card statements, whatever. If you don't need it and it's already been, you know, recorded online, or you can save that or print, you know, or just keep it in your computer, whatever, that's probably best. So that's what I do. You know, pictures and stuff, you know, I'll go through them. Do I have duplicates or whatever? You know, most pictures I keep on my computer or I put on a disc and I'll put it in the drawer. And then if I want to get copies of it, I can take it to Walmart or something and get it printed off. So I always do that. So always go through everything, what you may use, what you don't use. If you've got a ton of Tupperware, if you've got a ton of plates and you don't use them, at my house we do, but if you don't, if you go in your cabinets and you've got cans of corn that been sitting there for 3 months and you know you're not going to use it, give it to the food pantry. You know, do things like that. Declutter around your house. Once you start to feel free of that clutter and you start to feel more organized in your mind, it kind of gives you that confidence to go forward. What I didn't tell you guys is I have a double ear infection. I ran a fever all night. So I can't really hear myself when I talk, so I'm stumbling or not. So a lot. See, so you have to forgive me. Okay, but I really wanted to get these videos out before the weekend so you guys could go ahead and give them a listen and everything, and I could maybe rest. So I'm going to do like 3 or 4 today so I can get a little rest in. Okay, so another thing is after decluttering and getting organized, and now you're going on to your mental part, is you have to be mentally prepared what's going to happen. So this is what I do before I attack any mental situation. I kind of go over the pros and cons of what I'm about to do. So if I'm about to let go of this friend because I feel like they're needy, always asking, but they never do anything for me, and when I reach out to them, they ain't never there for me, I kind of go over the pros and cons. How's this person going to react? How should I say it? Do I know they're delicate and sensitive? Or are they going to overreact? And then I want to prepare myself for that. I'm still going to let them go, but I might want to prepare myself on how I say it or how I do it so they don't get over emotional or overreactive to where now I feel like we're engaged in an argument. That's another thing, you know. Family members who tend to argue a lot and want to drag you in the middle of it, stop engaging in other people's conflicts, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be a family member, whether it be a best friend. Stop getting in the middle of other people's conflicts. You know, I used to get in the middle of my sister's and her boyfriend's fights all the time. And then I would fight for, that's my sister, you're not going to do that. And then she'd turn around and go back to him. And I'm like, why did I bother? So I wasted all that time, got over emotional, over upset, half the time fist fighting, and she'd go right back. So I had to come to a point in my life where I said, she is a grown adult. She is a grown woman. If that's what she wants to do, that's what she's going to do. You know, unless he's just really put his hands on her, I'm staying out of it, because you cannot put yourself in somebody else's situation and know exactly what's going on, how it started, or anything else. So I don't engage. I just don't engage anymore. You know, unless it's got something to actually do with me, I don't engage, you know. And then there's Facebook. You know, it's so hard for me to get on social media because I'm so hypersensitive and every little thing affects me. And they're showing dogs being killed in China, and they're showing animals ran over on the side of the road. I can't even look at that. Why would you post that? Why would you feel the need to put that on Facebook? What is wrong with you in the first place? Don't do that. Why would you do that? I don't know what is wrong with you. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to deal with that. And then you see people getting on other people's posts. Girl, I would beat him. And why are you doing that? That has nothing to do with you. That person is upset. They're venting on Facebook. Why are you engaging? Is it with you? Are they talking to you? I mean, why are you? And if they are talking to you, why do it on Facebook? Just let it go. If somebody says something about me on Facebook, and yes, it's happened, I'm just going to put that out there, I just scrolled through it and ignored. I had this, I'm not even going to go there, but I had this one girl who tried to talk smack and lie on me and wanted people to unfriend me and said that I was doing this, and I wasn't. She didn't know anything about me, you know. I don't know what her deal was, but I just didn't engage with her. You know, she would get mad and say, you're not returning my messages. I just don't engage with people like that. If you come at me in a negative way, I'm going to ignore you. I ain't got nothing to say to you. I'm not going to do that. I don't get involved in people's emotional drama unless you like got a reading from me and you need my help. But if you're just attacking me or coming at somebody else to me, I just don't get involved in that. Why would you? Seriously, you know, you want to live a very calm, you know, I don't want to be overwhelmed emotionally. I want to be able to be calm and be able to have good days, not crazy bad days. And being hypersensitive, I have a lot of crazy bad days, so I don't need you adding to it. And so a lot of times I don't get on Facebook because I can't deal with that. And I have a lot of wonderful, great friends on Facebook. I mean, I have a lot of people that I really care about and want to see their posts. And it's so hard for me to see their posts because there's all these other negative posts. And sometimes I can't even scroll through Facebook to find my friends' posts because there's other crazy stuff being posted. So I find myself unfollow people just to see my friends post, and it's crazy. So I think that Facebook adds a lot to I don't even know how I want to put this, but I think that if you're hypersensitive like me, or if you're an empath, getting on the Facebook feed sometimes can be too much. So if you're already having an over emotional day, leave Facebook alone. Step away. If you're going to post on your wall, but step away from it, you know, because it can add to it. I know it does to me. So that can also be another abundance block. When you're so over emotional, you can't concentrate on anything else because this person's hurt your feelings, this person's done this, and now you're such an emotional wreck, you can't even figure out what to do next. So I hope this has helped you in some way. I know that it kind of feels like maybe I'm venting and I'm not trying to, I know, but it kind of feels like I've been there and I've done that, and I really don't want to see you guys have to do it the way that I figured it out and did it. So I'm kind of trying to help you out, put that out there. But just remember this: if in doubt, do without. Always try to remain balanced in any relationship, you know, give and take. There has to be some kind of equal. That's for family members, co-workers, relationships. Try to have balance there. And don't be scared of what could be. Always be willing to take that chance, because you'll never know if you don't try. You could really make it, but you'll never know because you're too scared to even put that foot out there. And people are always going to have something bad to say about you. You could be the best, sweetest, most wonderful person on the earth, and there's always going to be that one person that has something negative to say. You're never going to be able to control what another person is going to feel or say. So I don't even try. You know, I love people who love to connect with me, and people who don't, that's fine. You know, then we don't resonate, and that's okay. It's okay for somebody not to like you or your work. Let them go be them and you be you. So I hope that helps. And remember, everybody, karma is what you allow in your life will always be in your life. So if you allow negativity, don't be surprised when negativity is knocking on the door. So declutter, make room for that abundance, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.